Hi everyone. I have a few minutes to spare. My daughter just went to sleep, but she's used to sleeping in my arms or my husband's arms, and I placed her on her pack and play. So we'll see how long I can talk before she cries. Um, I owe you guys. I owe you guys a labor and delivery update and postpartum update. So we'll start with labor and delivery. Um, if you've seen the video footages, I was in labor for about 32 hours, and at first it didn't hurt. The only time that it did hurt was after they ruptured my bag of water to hasten my delivery because, as you know, it's been 32 hours already of labor and I need to give birth. A lot of people or a lot of resident doctors who did my internal exam are saying that I might go into cesarean section because they feel that my birth passage is not big enough for the baby. However, it's a good thing that I still delivered via normal spontaneous delivery, although I needed an episiotomy because I'm a small person. So my baby's not that big. She was only 2.94 kilos. However, I'm small, so I needed an episiotomy. Um, and the funny thing was, after I gave birth around just 1 minute before midnight, when I returned back to my room around 3 o'clock in the morning, um, I felt the urge to pee, but I was so scared to pee because I was thinking that if I peed, it's gonna hurt because, of course, I have a wound there. I have an episiotomy wound there. Of course, they repaired it, but I was just, thinking of that. So I did not want to pee until around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I still did not want to pee, so that's about 6 or 7 hours of urinary retention. So they had to insert a catheter because I really, really refused to pee. They inserted an intermittent catheter just to relieve the pressure from my urinary bladder. And then 6 hours later, I still refused to pee because I was really scared of peeing. Um, so my obstetrician went to my room and she told the nurse to get a bedpan and she made me pee and I was crying and my obstetrician was saying, "What's wrong? When you were during labor, you just had tears, you didn't cry like this and labor was more painful, and now that I'm just making you pee, you're crying as if you're going into labor again." Anyway, so after that, I was able to pee normally. It did hurt a bit because there's a wound, of course, but it's very tolerable and like what I had imagined. Okay, there should be a part 2 for this because my daughter is now crying. I'll get back. Oh, she stopped. Um, and then, okay, for the postpartum, for week 1 postpartum, as if you've watched my videos, my daughter was admitted for about 6 days in the hospital because of neonatal sepsis. And then my obstetrician said that if I went home, I can only visit my daughter maybe every other day, and that was not an option for me. I wanted to see my daughter whenever I want to, so I did not go home. So I stayed in the hospital for 6 days also. And during the first 3 days, they tried feeding her via the orogastric tube, but she would, regurgitate the milk that was given to her. Um, so during that 3 days, I was pumping milk. Um, During the first 2 days, I didn't have any milk at all. On the third day, um, about I was able to pump few drops of milk until eventually the amount of breast milk increased. Um, by the time she was ready to feed, I was able to pump about 15 to 20 ml of breast milk. So it's good because she was able to take in my colostrum, and I think it helped a lot with her recovery. What else? Oh, and my room was in the fifth floor of the hospital, and the nursery was in the fourth floor of the hospital. It's a big hospital. It's a university hospital. And one time, it was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was already her feeding schedule, her feeding time in the nursery, and there was no available wheelchair. So, because I was excited and I wanted to feed her, I want to breastfeed my baby, I decided to disobey my obstetrician and I walked from my room to the nursery. And then I was wearing my tight jeans. I wanted to wear my jeans because I know that people, like my interns and clerks, would see me. So I wanted to look good, so I put on my jeans and I walked, and it was far. And when I sat down in the nursery to feed her, this might gross you out, but when I sat down, I felt something tear down there. So yes, my wound dehisced and I was bleeding. So I had to go back up and I was crying because it was very painful. So yes, so that added again to my burden of during my recovery. So I learned my lesson to obey the doctor's orders. There. So um, my doctor said that I should still be on bed rest, not complete bed rest anymore, but I cannot go up and down the stairs for 6 weeks. So I am strictly obeying that. Um, but if you've seen her third week video, my daughter had her baptism, and of course, I had to walk and walk and walk, and that kind of caused another pain down there. I haven't seen my doctor yet, but I feel like part of the wound again dehisced. So I am a very bad patient. I disobey doctor's orders. But so far, everything is doing well, except for breastfeeding. For some reason, it hurts so bad. It's the fourth week now, so officially my third week of breastfeeding, and it hurts so bad up to now. Well, it's a bit better than the first 2 weeks, but it still hurts. I will do a video on that, but so far, that's my update. If I forget anything, I will try to do another video update on that. Other things that I forgot. um, that's all. That's all for now. Bye.